everybody, I'm Sonia.
I'm Madeline.
And today we are making dreads.
And so basically what we're doing is Mom is sectioning my hair, which we'll show you in a second, and starting the dreads. So I have like one dread started right here, as you can see. And then I'm dreading the extensions and attaching them, which we'll also show you. So
yeah, and so it's a multiple step process. Before you get started, you're going to want a comb and you're going to want a crochet hook. So as far as sectioning off the hair, like I said, this is the second time she's had dreads, and the first time we kind of made a mistake. We weren't really precise with sectioning off her hair into squares or rectangles.
yeah, so like when you're creating your dreads, when they're next to each other, make sure there's like a line in between one dread and the other. Make sure there's no like overlap of hair, because that's when, as it starts to grow out, you kind of sometimes have to like, you know, separate your dreads and kind of rip them apart, and it becomes really painful if all the hairs are overlapped and it gets all confused. And
yeah.
I don't see the screen.
that's because I'm looking at it.
Oh.
And when you're sectioning out your hair or having someone else section out your hair, which is really helpful, especially in the back, you know, we're all human, nobody's perfect. I have like a couple moles and like I had scars on my head and stuff like that. And so in between your dreads, especially in the beginning, you will be able to see your scalp. And so if you want those things covered, make a dread just right over the top of it. So just remember that when you first start sectioning out your hair.
The last dread I did is right here. It's basically right on top of her head. Oh. Out of the camera view. So I'm going to do the next one just to the left of where she is there. So I'll use the comb, and I've already got two sides of the square done. So we'll just need to suction off the rest of it. Okay, so here's my tentative square for the next section. Yeah. So to start this off, basically what we're doing is taking this strand of hair and splitting it in two, and then twisting it and pulling it together, and then bringing it back together, twisting and pulling it back together again. Apart, sorry. After you've done that a few times, you're going to take your comb and comb backwards. And you want to be pretty aggressive when you're combing backwards. If you're not, it's going to be really hard to get your dreads to set.
Okay, so now that I have a couple more sections of my hair that are ready to add the extensions, so you can see the dread goes from about here to here, and then the rest of this is just loose hair. So you're basically going to take your extension, and if you have like a safety pin or something like that, you can just safety pin it like to a chair or to a bed or whatever. So you start out with your dread like this, and you're pretty much going to do the twist and rip method that my mom was doing on my head. So you're going to do it like a twist and a half, split the hair, and then just rip all the way up. And you're going to see that you start getting these frizzies right away, which is really good. And the more frizzies you have is actually the better, because it'll make your dread tighter once you go back to crochet it in. So you're just going to keep twist and rip. So twist about one and a half times, split the hair in half, and then just rip all the way up. And you can be pretty aggressive with it, like pull it apart pretty well and make sure it's tight. And then gather your hair up again, twist, split, and rip. So you're going to do this all the way up the extension, and you'll really get into a rhythm of it like pretty easily once you do it a couple times. Okay, so I've finished the first stage of dreading my extension. You can see that it's really fuzzy and there's a lot of loose hair. all around it. And so then from here, you are going to do a little back combing. The first thing you're going to do is take your comb. I just got this at, I think, Walmart for like $1 or something. So take your comb and you're going to basically just stick it into the dread and just push towards the top or the base of where the dread started. And you're kind of going to do that and push all of the knots together as closely as you can. And you'll start seeing that, see right here, there's a little loose space between the dreads, so you want to, you know, grab the tangles up here and push them towards the rest. And you want to make sure that there's no gaps in the knots in your dreads, or else you'll have a gap in your dread and it's really hard to get rid of those when they start maturing. So you're basically just going to, and don't be afraid to really tug on it and really get those knots tight, because that will help your dread mature a lot faster. And so after you're done backcombing it, it's still going to be extremely frizzy. And so the first thing you're going to do is palm roll it. And so basically what you're going to do is take your dread, start at the base, and just roll it right between the palms of your hands. And you're going to go all the way up your dread with a lot of pressure. And do that a couple times, and that'll bring the frizz down a little bit so that you can start to crochet it. Now it's time to crochet. And so now you're at this stage in your dread, and it's a little frizzy, but the palm rolling has brought the frizz down a little bit. But you want to make sure it's really tight. So you see all this extra hair that's on the edges right here. You want to crochet all of that in. And so what you're going to do is basically grab the extra hair, so you can see it right here, all the extra frizzy stuff. And what I do is I reach around the dread and I just pull all of that hair to one side. And so now it's all on this side. It's not frizzy over here anymore because I've pulled it all over to one side. And as soon as you have it pulled over to one side, you're going to take your crochet hook, and I'm using a 0.5 millimeter crochet hook, so it's really small. When you pull all of your frizzy hair to one side, then take your crochet hook, stick it just through the middle of the dread, just like this, and then you're gonna grab that loose hair and pull it into the dreadlock. And so you're gonna kind of keep doing that, stick it through, loop onto this loose hair, and just pull it into the dreadlock. And you're just gonna keep doing that dread. And you basically just do this down the entire dread until all of the frizzy hair has been incorporated into the dreadlock. And then once you're finished with that, it is time to attach it to your dreads in your hair. This is Poncho. So once you have your dreadlock that you're going to work on out, you're going to take your extension and kind of measure like what length you want it. And so I've been doing mine pretty long. So you're going to take your dreadlock extension and just cut right through it like that. So then you can discard this part that has the clip on it because you don't need that anymore. You can just throw that away. So now you have your dreadlock, and it's just cut on the end right there, just like that. And so now what you're going to do is just brush out about 1.5 inches of the top of this dreadlock. And so you're going to want to cut it a little bit longer than you want your dreadlock to be, by about 1 inch or 1.5 inches. So you're going to brush out about that much of it. So just take your comb and just work through the dreadlock, and some extra hair is going to come out, and just discard that also. You're basically going to take this hair and just split it in half so that you have 2 sections of undreaded hair. And then you're going to take your extension that you've brushed out about 1 inch to 1.5 inches, and just do the same thing, just split it in half. So now you have your hair and your extension look like this. So now you're basically just going to take your extension and just put it perpendicular to the way that you split your hair in half. So basically just like that. And you want to keep your extension where the actual dread starts. you want that to be right up against the dread in your hair so that you don't have any gaps. And so you're going to hold it up there, and you're basically going to, right now I'm going to put the crochet needle through the extension and grab onto the real hair that's coming down over the extension and just basically crochet it in to the dread. And so basically you can start going pretty fast with it and just reach through, grab some hair, and pull it through the dread. And you're just going to do that over and over again until basically all the loose hair has been connected into the dreadlock. And you can see how it's starting to stick through right here. And then you're going to go around and do the same thing on both on the other side and on the top where your extension is overlapping with your real hair. Alright, and there, now you have officially added your dreadlock extension. So this is what they look like. I'm like out of breath. I feel like I was talking too fast. Hey guys, it's Madeline again. I just wanted to give you guys a quick update. All of my dreads are in my hair now. I'm back in my apartment now, which is why things look different. But so basically I have 31 dreads in my hair right now, and it took about an hour. We timed it. It took about an hour to do everything for one dreadlock, and so that's 31 hours that we spent over like 4 or 5 days working on my hair. So you do need to kind of set off some time to actually do it and get dreads in your hair. If you're not doing extensions, however, it's going to take about half the amount of time, so you'll be able to do a dreadlock in half an hour instead of an hour, so that's nice. But so this is what they look like right now. I'm so happy with them. They're just long and beautiful, and I love them. I haven't done any maintenance on them yet. And I don't know if you can see, but they are getting pretty fuzzy again, so it would be good. I think probably tonight or maybe tomorrow night I'll just sit down, put a film on, and do a little crocheting and just crochet in those little fuzzies. Yeah, so I hope this video was helpful. I know that before I got my dreadlocks in, I tried to watch all of the dreadlock videos on YouTube, and there weren't actually that many. And so I hope this one has helped you guys. If we didn't make anything clear, if you have any questions about anything, go ahead and just leave a comment below, and I will get back to you guys as soon as I can. And stay updated also on this channel, because I'll be posting like dread update videos and you know, hairstyles and pros and cons and stuff like that. And so if you guys have any specific requests, go ahead and leave those down below also, so that I make sure and cover whatever it is in the next video that I put out. So thank you guys so much. If this was helpful to you, I would love if you would just leave a like down below. I'd really appreciate it, and you can subscribe if you want to. If not, it's cool, whatever. Yeah, well, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great day.